Hello, guys. Yeah, I'm like so out of it, but I do want to, I guess, talk about it because I'm okay. Thank you for all of you guys that did ask me how I was because you guys know that I'm in California currently. Kind of wish I wasn't. Um, I really know how to pick it. I went to, in the last year, I was traveling around and I was in Canada and then I was in China. Kind of wish I was in China right now. I mean, I know there's a bunch of viruses going on over there, so that's probably not the greatest idea. It just and then Canada, I mean, they're getting a new prime minister, but yeah, you know what? I'd rather be in Canada right now. Canada's probably much better. It's just crazy. Hi there, Sean. We are gonna open up cards later. I don't know if you could see it. I don't know if you guys see the thumbnail updates when I was like trying to take pictures of the thumbnail. I'm just like, I was so out of it. I was like, I can't. I slept finally. I only slept like 3 hours for the last like 2 days. And then yesterday I caught up on sleep. So I think I got like 8 hours now. But I was like trying to hold it up like straight. And then I had it like one like this. And then I didn't. I couldn't. Like my mind is just like all over the place. Yeah, if you didn't know, California is on fire right now. I'm this this whole 2025 has just been like mind-boggling to me. I'm not gonna go into details, but like I've been sleeping on a couch for the last 9 days. So I'm also a little bit loopy over there. But yeah, it's just been like really, really rough. I'm really thankful that my family members are safe. I have family like scattered around in different places, so like they're good. I'm safe right now. That's the good thing. I posted a video about how my Dyson air purifier is showing green, which is good. I had this girl like ask me like, "Oh, she has one too, but she doesn't know if she could trust it." Again, if you're like, I don't know, more of a scientist, um, and way more intelligent, then let me know if maybe it's not showing something that's correct and actually I am breathing in terrible air and I just don't know it. But I think it's pretty accurate. I've dealt with different brands of air purifiers, and all of them are pretty accurate in the sense where, like, if I were to put some oil on a pan and I were to cook an egg right now, like my Dyson will know. It's gonna start showing numbers going up. Um, so yeah, I think the air quality is good so far, and that's maybe because I've been watching the news, and ever since, I knew about the winds, like, I actually knew about okay, everybody knew about the winds on January 6th, I think, or I saw it on, like, Instagram on January 6th, and then I was like, "Oh, okay, I gotta close all my windows and stuff because I don't want, like, dust and debris flying around everywhere." So that was January 6th, and then January 7th, it was just kind of like a shocker that the Pacific Palisades just set on fire, I think at like 10 AM or something. But yeah, it was everybody was just kind of expecting really strong winds, and I think the news that I saw made it very dramatic and said it was deadly winds, but I was like, "Ah, like, how deadly can winds be?" Because I went through a hurricane. I don't know if you guys know, but I in Shanghai last year, you can search it up, they had, like, the worst tropical storm hurricane, since like 70 years in Shanghai. So it was crazy. I literally saw metal pieces fall off the roof, like flying around in the air. Also had the windows closed. Thank God I was like inside. But yeah, I like lived through a hurricane. That was like the worst hurricane of my life. I was so scared. And like if you went outside and there's metal pieces falling off the roof, like yeah, you're gonna be not around. So I was like, oh, okay, like California, Santa Ana winds. I'm like, "Oh, cute." They gave a name for it. And then on the 7th, I was like, yeah, I was pretty scared. It was like the worst in terms of California winds I've ever experienced. So it actually didn't really process for me like what was going on because then, like late afternoon, I found out about like a fire. And then I was like, oh snap. I'm like, that's terrible. But then like also a part of me was like, okay, like been in California for a while. So I'm like, I know there's forest fires all the time. So I was like, oh, okay, like it's just gonna be, one of those fires. They'll eventually put it out. Like, you know, like there's not gonna be any houses burned down. Like that's literally like as somebody who's here, that's what most people think. Like, people are just like, "Oh, it's like a forest fire." Nobody's actually expecting the devastation that we have now. Like, no one's actually expecting that there would be California is huge, and usually it's like, okay, this area, and sometimes, there's like multiple fires going on, but you're never hearing like, oh my God, somebody you actually know, like their home got burned down. Like, you don't hear that stuff. This is like the first time I've ever experienced this, and I think that's all the what I'm seeing from TikTok and stuff. People that are like in their 40s, 50s, 80s, even saying that they've lived their entire lives and they've never experienced this. So this is like some apocalyptic crazy stuff. And I have so much to talk about. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so January 7 was terrible. And it really honestly, it's like as I was realizing like, oh, this isn't just as like another fire, like people's homes are being burned down. That freaked me out. And then it didn't even, and it just got like, it hit me harder and harder, maybe because it's through, and thankfully people are sharing through social media, because I think without that, I would be even more lost as to, like, how serious this is. Like, if I didn't look online and see through X and see through, like, TikTok and Instagram and people, like, filming their actual homes being burnt down, and those little, like, flying flames, which I didn't even know were called ambers, which apparently if those ambers are then drifted through the wind and they carry off to, like, another forest or somebody else's home, then that catches on fire. So it's literally like fireballs just flying everywhere at the speed of, like, 80 miles per hour or something, right? Because the winds were, like, as strong as 60 miles per hour, and that's how they say the Palisades. Honestly, the cause of it, I saw in the news today. Today is January 9. Um, I think I saw on the news today that they said they have, investigators trying to find out if, maybe possibly this is a human thing, meaning there are arsonists out there doing this. That could be a possibility. And then, or just how it started, right? Like, God knows how this started. It's crazy. But to me, like, if somebody's sick enough, if somebody actually, like, and this did happen in the past. Like, I didn't know about this, but my SO told me that in California, I'm pretty sure it's California, but somewhere in the United States, there have been past cases where, like, people who, like, fire marshals, there have been, I don't know how many, but there's definitely a case out there where somebody who works in the industry to save you from fires actually set off a fire. So yeah, there's crazy people. Um, I'm praying that that is not the case, but if it is, the karma that that person would get, I cannot even fathom, and I hope they do, because this is just, I can't imagine how someone could be that dumb. And it's insane to me that, like, right now, I do see through TikTok, like, there is a part of society, people either in California or outside of California, there are Americans who are going on TikTok and saying that they are happy that the wealthy people, because we know a lot of celebrity homes, they live in the Pacific Palisades, whatever, um, a lot of their homes burned down, and it's sickening to me how people are like, "Eat the rich, yeah, let their houses burn down. Oh, insurance will just cover it." Okay, do we not understand that if you are, oh, pro fires in wealthy areas, a fire is a fire. This is not the same thing as, like, another weapon, If you set off a fire, you absolutely cannot control it. It is literally like setting off, like, the nuclear button on Earth. Like, it just doesn't makes sense to me how somebody could ever be that dumb, if somebody were that dumb to have done this, or for whatever reasons, because I'm sure arsonists have their own crazy reasons. But yeah, it's so crazy to me how anybody would be dumb enough to do that. Like, if oh my God, if they find out, like, my imagination is going off like crazy. But if they do end up finding out that somebody started this because of either some personal hatred, because actually recently I saw on the news, this was like less than 3-4 months ago. um yeah, like, I think somebody set off a fire, because someone owed someone money, or there was, like, these fights. There were these disputes inside a home. There was, like, a bunch of elderly people, I think, and then, like, I think somebody purposefully, like, set off a fire, because they had disputes about, like, property within the property. I don't know if they were fighting about money, and it's just insane to me. But if somebody did actually set off either someone's home in the Palisades, or I don't know, or just set it off because of their own personal reasons or vendetta against the rich, that is so stupid to me, because you are not, first off, that's, you shouldn't do that. Um, two, for somebody to do that, it's just really dumb, because then you're going to end up hurting so many people. Like, if originally it was done by a person who set off the Palisades and you're like, eat the rich, and then the ambers carry on, and it could hit that person's home or other people's homes. Because you know what? Let me tell you, I don't know the wealthy and the people in the Palisades and the expensive homes, but I know the regular homes, the regular people, friends of friends. And I know friends of friends who have their homes burned down right now. And these people are not rich. These people are not wealthy. There are a lot of people suffering right now. Like, they can't go to their jobs because the restaurants burnt down. There's people's homes who they don't like, didn't even pay off their mortgage, burned down. I do not know how these people are going to build back their lives. I think the first day, January 7th, that's when I think 30,000 people evacuated. I'm pretty sure the numbers are like over 60,000 at this point. I mean, it has to. Like, I've friends who've evacuated because they're in the like evacuation zone, and even people who are not in the evacuation zone have evacuated because it's really bad air. Again, I am thankful that right now, even though it looks terrible outside, like, it looks like an apocalyptic world. Everything looks terrible, but I am lucky to be safe, as in, like, my place is not gonna burn down anytime soon. I do not have, immediate evacuation mandates, but I am prepared, and I think if you are in California and you're watching this right now, you should definitely, even if you're not in that zone or you're close to it, or you're not even close to it, because it's 0% contained. That's the scary part. You just don't know. So, I've been prepped, like, since before this fire. Like, I like to know where things are. So I have this spot where, like, I put my important documents, my passport, um, all the stuff that I need if I were to immediately run away. And then I think once I take that bag, I'll probably will try to throw in some jewelry if I have time. And then definitely my cell phones. Honestly, my laptop's so heavy, I'll try to carry it. If I can't, then too bad. They say to carry, like, obviously enough clean clothing and stuff, but I would just bundle myself up with, like, a bunch of clothes, like, I'll look like a polar bear, and I'll just dip. Like, can't imagine, like, there's nothing. And it's sad to me because I feel so bad for the people who have their homes burned down, and people are like, "Oh, insurance is just gonna cover it." No, it's not. Insurance is just not gonna cover, like, something that your grandpa left you, like, before he passed. Like, it's so many things that are, like, irreplaceable. Um, and it's terrible. And, like, looking around, I have a bunch of stuff that are meaningless. Like, I got off, like, Temu or, like, TikTok Shop. I could not care more for. Even if it was, like, if it was burned down, it could be like, okay, that's a waste because somebody, built that item, and we kind of, like, went through the environment's resources to build that item, and now it's just burned to ashes. And I spent money on it. It would be sad, but I don't have an emotional connection to, like, every little item, thank God. And I think all of this just really makes me think about, like, life and, like, oh my God, like, what even matters? Like, and because I feel so bad for people who, like, have their homes burned down, it honestly just makes me, like, want to be a minimalist. Like, I'm not so much a minimalist, as you can see. Like, I have so much just trash, like, stuff. Um, and I also have a lot of things, but it's just to make money off of it. Like, I told you guys, I got my own e-commerce business. So, like, I buy and I sell things. I sell, like, my used clothing and stuff like that. And I just have, like, a lot of items. So a lot of the items that I'm just using to resell, like, that to me is just dollar signs. Like, okay, whatever. If it's gone, it's gone. Um, yeah, but it is upsetting. Like, if I keep a lot of, like, memories. Like, I literally have boxes of memories of, like, things when I was, like, from grade 10, or, like, a friend gave me an item from elementary school. Like, I like to keep those little things, those little, like, mementos, and then I like to look back at it later on, and just knowing that it's there, it would be really upsetting if I lost all of that. So it's yeah, honestly, I can't. I feel really bad for everybody that had to go through that, and people who had to, like, choose between animals because, like, I heard if you have, like, a bunch, you obviously can't take all at once, so some people just, like I think horses, I saw online that somebody had, like, I think more than 12 horses or something, and they could only take, like, 4 with them. It was just so sad. I don't know. Yeah, this is just, like it's just a crazy time right now, and, yeah, you can't I feel like everyone I've been getting, like, messages like crazy from everyone, especially out of state because to them it's even more confusing. I feel like if you don't live in California and you don't understand just how large it is, a lot of people are like, "Oh my god," like, they think, like, I'm definitely in the zone, but it's really big, so I'm thankful that it's really big, even though there's, like, football fields being burnt down every couple seconds, supposedly. Mm. Sebastian, hello. Sean, I said hi to you already, raw food. Um, yeah, I mean, I see oh my god, you're joking. Um, I see the flames in your heart. No, I saw the flames since January 7th, since the day of. Like, well, once the winds, like I told you guys, the Santa Ana winds were insane. But once those winds died down, like late at night, I walked out and I was like, oh, the fire is not as far as I thought it was. So now I can see it. It looks like zombies came upon us. But yeah, I'd like to know also like what you guys think. What do you think started it? I have so many theories. I've read so many theories. I've seen so many videos of people's theories. I'll just let you guys know a couple right now. It's wild theories out there. Some people think it's like some alien stuff. I don't. I think that's the least likely theory, but hey, who knows? Like I don't know if you guys saw, but there's this video where this woman was like, she's like, I was just watching Fox News, and she took a clip from it, and she's like, on Fox News when they're showing you like the fire in California, apparently in the video, there's like this looks like it's something out of our world. I think it looks like a plane or a ship just going like right down, like out from the sky into the flames. And it was just so quick. But the thing is, whenever people say it's not from our world, it's so fast, I question it because I'm like, just because we are not wealthy enough to build something like that and know that that exists does not mean that it does not exist. So it could be superhuman speed to somebody who does not comprehend because they do not have the wealth to know that it was already built. So, yeah, anything like that doesn't scare me as much. If I see like in front of my eyes an actual alien where it's like, it's not AI, like, it's not, a robot, and you just know it's like, if I saw something that looked like slime and it was, like, Jello, I don't know why I'm coming up with something like this, but if I saw something that was, like, it looked like an aurora and it was floating or it was, like, a jelly-like content, so it's not just a bunch of machines, like, you could see through it, like some type of membrane looking thing, and it was jiggling and it was talking to me and it had like eyes and a mouth and it's lifting things up in the air. Yeah, I'd be like, okay, that's an alien. There's just no way to argue it. But if I'm seeing like ships or machinery with an engine, you're like, okay, maybe that's like created by somebody really wealthy and we just don't know about it, or like something from the government. So there's that theory where people are like, oh, like, this is just aliens. Yeah, I don't think so. But hey, never say never. Entertainment purposes only, by the way. Do your own DD always, never financial advice. And yeah, so there's that theory. There are also beliefs that, again, an arsonist, somebody set it off. Somebody's like, burn the world. And I think it's just so crazy because it's only been like a couple of months since this whole Luigi Magione ordeal, and I think the world right now is just feeding off of this eat the rich vibe, and I don't know, I think it's sickening because you're no better than the rich people that you hate, in my opinion. When you do these things, like thinking everybody who has money is terrible and they all deserve something bad to happen to them. No, nobody deserves this. Like, I literally would not. And I've really thought about the word hate through all of this, and I'm like, there are some people I dislike strongly. I might have used the words I hate in the past to describe, and I don't think I even hate anybody that much. I don't, I wouldn't wish this upon even like there are people out there that I should truly, truly hate because there are people who owe me a lot of money. There are people who that have that betray me deeply. Like there are just some disgusting people out there, but I wouldn't even wish that upon them, honestly. Like I would not want somebody to have their home being burned down or, you know, stuff like that. That's crazy. Sebastian, are you buying the dip? Love it. Switching up some, yeah, and that's why I want to open up some of these because when life gives you lemons, you open up Cardsmith trading. I'm just kidding. Um, yeah, life is pretty crazy right now. I'm honestly like contemplating my whole like existence and life, and I'm looking at the charts. I'm looking at stock market's closed today because of Jimmy Carter. I think it's because today is his funeral. I don't know where they're holding his funeral. Obviously not in California, but you know, may he rest in peace. Today the market's closed. Tomorrow it should be back up. Um, it's tomorrow Friday. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to like be normal while I'm also and like care about the stuff that I should care about because life still goes on for the rest of the world and we're still in this system of like if you don't make money you can't pay your rent, you don't make money you can't go out and buy food. So we're still a part of I'm still a part of that world. It's just the when I look outside it looks like the world's burning down. Um yeah, I still have to like be a part of the system, I guess. And yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Yesterday, I had the whole day. Um, I used my cell phone data to like post on X and like post videos and whatnot, but I could not use Wi-Fi, so I wasn't like able to live like normal, I guess, because yeah, because of the fires and it's screwing with a lot of telecommunication companies. And some people had a power outage. I, throughout all of this, had like 3 seconds of power outage. So thank God it came back up like really quickly. But yeah, we're gonna open up some cards because why not? I feel like if I get a redemption card, I'll be really happy. This is the series 3 Cardsmith trading cards. So we're gonna open up the one little box just because, and then we're gonna open up a giant box. I haven't opened up a giant box since I started this, and I got that redemption card, which is behind me. Um, that I didn't open up because then I found one through here and then I opened it up and it was 2,500 Doge coins. So I got that collected already. Yeah, and crypto is down anyways. Down, like my feelings. But yeah, crypto is down. Stock market, I don't even know what it was like this week because I've just been so out of it. Um, but yeah, that it's weird. It's like I'm trying to balance between I have to live like my life and then also I'm thinking, oh my God, the destruction that is LA right now. I can't even comprehend how the future days will be because I'm like, there's people who lost their homes, like they're either in hotels or Airbnbs or staying with their friends or in shelters right now. And the city has to like rebuild. The don't even know. I don't know how long it's going to take. I've never seen this in my life. I I can't comprehend how California is even going to be able to like afford all this. I don't know how the insurance companies are going to be afford all this. Oh yeah, so speaking of like how this is ideas of how this all started. There's obviously like we said arsonists, people say aliens, and then there's just straight up nature. And I think the thing is why people and I saw this through Criminal Minds. Like there is an I forgot the literal term, the medical term for this, but if you do study like psychology, there is this thing where if something really traumatic happens, something crazy, like an event like this, people tend to find it hard to think it was actually just due to a simple reason. Like the flames just started, like, naturally. Oh, that's what people like to think, like, "Oh, no, it must be more complicated. It must be this, and that." And although I do think, we should always investigate and think of the other reasons because you never know. You should just brush stuff off and be like, it must be the simple reason. Sometimes it is the simple reason. And then Joe Rogan, actually, like, if this is on my X, by the way, if you're not following me, it's just Living with Lucy, LUCI, on X. But I saw this video yesterday about how this guy was trying to fact check all these things that Trump said to Joe Rogan on a recent podcast. And Joe Rogan, actually, I think this is not to Trump though. I saw this on a separate video where Joe Rogan was saying to somebody else he was doing an interview with, and he talked about how he had a chat with a firefighter in California, and the firefighter literally told Joe Rogan that all it takes is some really high winds, like the Santa Ana winds on January 7th. And so high speed winds and just some bad luck of a fire, and California is just like LA is gonna just be burned. Like, he said this. You can go and search this up. Like, that was a conversation I guess he had with a firefighter from California, and it actually happened. But again, we don't know until all the investigations are done. And yeah, so that could also be the reason. But now we're hearing there's a lot of backlash, I think, on the mayor. She was in like Ghana when this happened. I mean, I don't think people should blame her because how would she know that there's a fire and that she should be back in LA instead of visiting her family? Um, but she did cut the firefighters' money, I think, by like someone said 17 million, I think, or somewhere over that. It's either 17 million or over 20 something million. Do your own DD. But the fire department's money was cut. They do not have enough manpower. I am learning for the first time that they actually tell inmates, like when they run out of manpower, they tell inmates to go and do it for like barely any money. And then when they come out of it, like when they finish with their sentence, they don't just get to become firefighters, or they're not accredited for that. So that's a little sad. But at the same time, I don't know how I feel about that. So that's just crazy. We just don't have enough manpower. Like, in the news, you're hearing stuff like 60,000 people evacuated. Um, there's 5 football fields worth of fire just decimating like the Palisades per minute, and you're hearing some numbers like, oh, and like 200 firefighters were deported. Like, uh, hundreds. That's what we got. Not thousands, not tens of thousands, just hundreds of firefighters. And I'm like, that is so scary. How is that going to help if multiple homes had like children inside the house and needing firefighters? Like, how are you even going to pick? Like, it's crazy to me, all of this. Little roller scratcher, hi there. Um, If your nieces and nephews are collecting Pokemon cards, no, they're not actually, they're collecting other things, but I have a niece that loves cards, but she's not collecting Pokemon cards. She's really interested in Detective Conan, so she likes that. Oh, and she's into that Japanese anime Jujutsu Kaisen, I think. I need to start that. It looks really good, or she tells me it's really good. So she has like those cards, and she collects pins. Apparently for the kids, 13-year-olds, I guess. Pins are really popular. I'm good though. I feel like I like cards, but I only collect ones that I think are really cute and adorable or valuable. And then in terms of pins, and I'm weird. I'll pick like I like the blind boxes with the little figurines. Like, I love those. And I like cards, but not so much the pins. I don't know. They just doesn't really hit anything for me. Since it's Bull Run, people are fighting Pokemon cards in Costco, Walmart now. What? I didn't even know you could get Pokemon cards at Walmart or Costco. That's hilarious. Oh, thank you, Sebastian. Where's my little money thing? Cha-chang! Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. People are fighting Pokemon cards now in Costco since Pokemon Bull Run now. Why is it a Pokemon Bull Run? Why? Did something happen with Pokemon? I thought it would be like a crypto bull run, but I don't know. These cards are doing really, really well. Like they're always getting sold out. Cardsmith has, well, I opened it up last time. I didn't get anything that great, but series 4 is out. This is series 3, so this is like the sold out one. The hi there, Crypto Warbid. Sometimes spark major wins. They've been harming our skies and SoCal lately. So yeah, I actually, where's my phone? Sorry, still a little out of it. Oh, I put it on top. Okay. I'll just play this video because I learned a lot from it. But again, if you're watching it and you know, if you fact check this guy who was trying to fact check, let me know if he's wrong in any way. But this is posted by Richard on X. His tag is at RICWE123. So this person is who posted it, and I saw him post this, and he says this man perfectly illustrates the ultimate consequence of having incompetent politicians. Again, I didn't do my DD to then research this guy's research. I didn't even have Wi-Fi when I saw this yesterday, but it seems pretty legit. Like, I mean, there has to be some factual parts to it because, I mean, they did cut down money for the fire department and then give extra. Like, apparently, I heard the police department in LA gets like more than $1 billion. So they like literally cut money from the firefighters and like gave it to the police department. And crimes rates are clearly not great in California. So I don't know what is going on there. But yeah, so listen to this.
Last night, I had to evacuate my home in LA because of the fires, the effects of which you can see right above me. Upon reflecting, I remembered a conversation that Joe Rogan had with Donald Trump before the election about the state of wildfire management in California. It's very easy to think that wildfires is something that Mother Nature just inflicts upon us.
Right.
But we have an influence over both the intensity and the frequency of these fires. And Donald Trump pointed out that there's two things that we've done in California that might be exaggerating the effects of these fires. The first is our policy around water management, and the second is our policy around clearing deadwood in our forests.
I got an alert.
Los Angeles, you can't get proper amounts of water.
Right.
And it's unbelievably expensive. And they're actually thinking about rationing water. Can you believe it? I was in the farm court country with some of the congressmen. We're driving up a highway. And I say, how come all this land is so barren? It's farmland. And it looked terrible. It was just brown and bad. I said, but there's always that little corner that's so green and beautiful. They said, we have no water. I said, do you have a drought? No, we don't have a drought. I said, why don't you have no water? Because the water isn't allowed to flow down. It's got a natural flow from Canada all the way up north. Water, more water than they could ever use. And in order to protect a tiny little fish, the water up north gets routed into the Pacific Ocean. I could have water for all of that land, water for your forests. You know, your forests are dry as a bone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dangerous.
That water could be routed. You know, you could have everything. Oh, not only dangerous, billions of dollars a year they spend on forest fires.
Now, let's look at specifically what Trump was referring to here. In 2023, California implemented what's called the Fall X2 policy. This is a policy that's designed to redirect water away from areas that endanger a specific species of fish called the Delta smelt. Proponents of this policy argue that the Delta smelt are important to indigenous populations, as well as important for the overall health of certain other endangered species in that area, like the Chinook salmon or killer whales. And that sounds good, but let's look at what the cost of protecting the Delta smelt actually is. In 2023, we dumped 195.5 billion gallons of water into the Pacific Ocean. That's water that could have been used for firefighting or watering farmlands. This is all happening while we're focusing on scarcity conservation-based policies, while we're dumping $200 million worth of water into the ocean to protect
that is insane to me.
Species. Now, that's how we've been wasting our water, but what about our forests?
And, you know, there's a case with the environment. They're not allowed to rake their forests because you're not allowed to touch it. When a tree falls down, after 18 months, it becomes very dry. It's like, you know, like real firewood. It's bad. But when a tree is up, it sucks water. It's wet. I went to they had a couple of horrible forest fires in California. And I said, you get a lot of trees standing. Yes, they were healthy trees, sir. I said, with this intense heat, you could see they were charred a little bit on the bottom, but they were going to be all right because they're soaking wet because they suck up the water, right? But when they fall,
Right.
they're like, it's like lighting a match.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to clean. They call it maintain your forest. So I was with the head of Austria. He said, it's a shame. I see all those forest fires in California, and all they have to do is clean their forest, meaning rake it up, get rid of the leaves, get rid of, leaves that are sitting there for 5 years. And
we'll certainly get rid of the dead fall.
And get rid of the trees that are falling. And
that's the real issue.
Environmentally, they don't want to do that. They said, it's got to be nature and all this stuff.
Is there some truth to Trump's claim? It turns out, yes. A 2024 study found that approximately 91.4 million dead trees were spread over 27.8 million hectares of land in California. Many people in the environmental lobby will argue that we need to preserve this deadwood, actually, because it contributes to the natural habitat that many endangered species rely upon. But here's an example of where trying to do good actually ends up doing bad. For approximately 10 years, there was an environmental lobby that opposed clearing deadwood in the Klamath National Forest because they were trying to protect the natural habitat of spotted owls and endangered species. This caused a multi-year legal battle that ironically resolved itself when the Klamath National Forest ended up actually burning down because of the deadwood that they were trying to use to protect the spotted owl population. These kinds of misguided attempts to protect the environment in California not only keep on ruining the environment, it's ruining human lives. And here's my personal frustration. California has the best land and the worst government in the United States. We have incompetent politicians who constantly focus on things that sound good while actually doing bad. And they focus on first-order consequences while ignoring the second-order consequences. They constantly focus on popular slogans like needing to protect our environment and climate change and protecting the fish and protecting the trees while ignoring the second-order impact on humans. And ironically, like in the case of the spotted owls, in their attempt to protect endangered species, not only are they harming humans, oftentimes they're not even protecting the endangered species. And to take this a step further, I think California's government represents a dysfunctional, far-left worldview that is consistently not producing results, it's just producing heated conversations. We spend more money on homelessness every year, while the amount of homeless people just keeps on increasing every year. We have reasonable people who are afraid to speak up because we don't want to be labeled as climate change deniers just for questioning some of these dysfunctional environmental protection policies. We have a governor in Gavin Newsom who left San Francisco a failed city and is slowly turning California into a failed state. This is the same governor, by the way, that during COVID recommended that we quarantine at home while he dined at the French Laundry. Ultimately, in moments of crisis like this, I am grateful that we have a government, but our government could be doing a lot better.
The firefighters.
So anyways,
working.
That's very sad.
Multiple days
but I kind of, it's hard not to agree with a lot of those things, like especially with the governor part. The fact that he went out when he was like, oh, you guys all gotta stay in. So if you're gonna be like the head of the household, like the way I see it, if you're gonna be like, if you're the president, you're kind of like the father of America, like for a minute, right? For 4 years until you're voted again. So if you're gonna be the governor of California, then you kind of have to set an example, or you should treat your people in a way where when you speak to them and you tell them to do something, then you should have to at least follow it. Because if you're not following it, then you act like you are above it. I'm okay, by the way, guys. Don't worry. I'll let you. I'll know when it's time. But I am packed and ready to go. But let me finish this. The deadwood that they were talking about, I highly doubt like a lot of money is being put into it. And he was basically saying that, well, at least that there's been years and years of just like dead wood in those forests and no one's raking it up. And I think maybe there's a possibility that it's just not being raked up because it's not, everything is tied to money. And I think whatever is not being done, it has to be, in my personal opinion, in my imagination, I think whatever is not being done that should easily, you would think one needs to do for their country or for their city, is because there's something in terms of money, like somebody else to be getting paid for something and want certain things to happen, whether they're happy that right now what's happening is happening, or we're running out of water, or there's less firefighters and more of the money is going to LAPD. There is money tied in so many dirty ways, like, throughout all of this, and I do think it's disgusting, and I think people should have to pay the price. Um, but yeah, if Newsom, like, stays as the governor for any longer after this is just mind-boggling to me. And I'm not blaming, like, the fires on him because you can't just say that whatever we don't even know what actually happened right now. Obviously, people are saying it's a natural disaster. So you're not I'm not gonna go and be ridiculous and say, like, Newsom owes everybody, like, a new home, and he's the reason why animals are running away right now and all that. But you also can't say that these politicians don't take any responsibility because at the very least, like, it is so crazy to me that we live in a world where, like, we know California has a lot of fires and we can't even maintain it. And it's like there's all these memes right now that, like, okay, the Palisades is literally right next to the ocean. And I saw this guy joke about how, well, we can't just put a tube into the ocean and just spray all of the Palisades. It's literally at the beach. And yeah, you could, like, laugh at it and be like, and I see comments and people were like, "No, like, if you were to actually spray the ocean water, it's like the salt is corrosive and it's not good for, like, it's just gonna ruin stuff, like, on land." But it's like, do you want all everything to burn down or just have, like, some salts everywhere, a lot of salt everywhere, or maybe ruining your appliances? Because right now a lot of more things are being ruined. So I don't know, I just don't get it. And maybe I'm just not smart enough to get it, but I don't understand why. And I'm not blaming Elon Musk, but like if we can build, okay, not him, but if we can build spaceships now and they can go to Mars or they can go to the moon, it is crazy to me that that money isn't being spent, or we collectively, our tax dollars are not, because California is one of the states that pay the most taxes. This is one of the wealthiest states, right? New York is even richer. There's more billionaires there, which I'm sure if this were to happen in New York, like, well, actually, it wouldn't happen in New York. But in California, it is crazy to me that we don't have like a giant, multiple rocket ship sizes of machines to just spray down the city in a very safe manner. Um, when the fires go up like this, it is crazy to me that this is something that has been predicted even on the Joe Rogan podcast, and nobody figured out ways to prevent it, even though they should have. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna be right back. I'm just gonna check in on this alert situation. I'm gonna mute it. Okay, no worries, no worries. That sounded very scary, but it is a preparation warning. So it's not that you have to go now, like nearby, everything's burning down. But it is a ready, which I am ready. So if I see like if I can see fire right next to me, I'm already ready. I mean, I'll just have to say goodbye to you guys. I just leave this and you could just watch everything burning down. But um I'm ready. Like I said, I already have a bag packed of all my most important things, which is really just it's kind of crazy that we have to like carry these I just want everything to be digital, honestly, at this point. Like, I love a QR code. Maybe, like, yeah, just like a secret phrase, kind of like in blockchain where you can like imagine if you just had like 24 secret words and that's like and it's matched to your face. So once you have that code, you put it into a system through the government and then you sign in or with your eyeball or whatever, you can sign in and then get that QR code and that's like your passport. Because right now I actually have to carry my passport and important documents and any other IDs. But that's like it's a pretty small bag. So yeah, I think if I really only need like 5 minutes, I could gather all the things because I already know where all the things are. Um, yeah, and obviously extra battery chargers, which I also have prepared. I think during moments like this, it's just yeah, I mean, I'm lucky that I know some people who had their power outage just even if they weren't in the dangerous zones or nearby the danger zones. The Santa Ana winds were really rough, and it just took down a lot of electricity for a lot of folks. So, and my friend was telling me that like I think there was a metallic balloon situation where just like a I think a regular balloon or whatever ended up taking out a bunch of power outage. This was like recent. So um don't forget your rabbit. I don't have a real rabbit. I have a toy rabbit. My toy rabbit is on my purse. It's very cute. Actually, it's very soothing. I'll show you guys my little toy rabbit. This is my purse. It's actually my mom's purse. This is like a super old Celine bag that she didn't even know she had. And then my auntie gave to me because she just left it at my aunt's for like many years. And now I love it. It's like one of my nicer favorite bags. But this is my little bunny. I bought this in Shanghai. It's from some company called Gabriel. They sell like a giant version of this bunny, like a huge one. Like if you're like a 10-year-old, it would be like a dream because it would be like the size of your 10-year-old. But yeah, like this little bunny, the big one I think was going for like I don't know if it's $1,000 USD or $1,000 RMB, but it was really expensive, more than 1,000 RMB for sure. This one was like more like $10 USD, but it's really fluffy and cute. Yeah, that's good. If I have to evacuate, my bunny is coming with me. Oh man, you guys. That's rough. Just like the skies are so scary because it's like daytime, but I mean I wake up late, but ever since the afternoon it's been like orangey, white, foggy, and red. So whew. Moving on. So yeah. Again, just because I showed you guys that video doesn't mean I'm saying everything that guy was saying is true, but some of the things you could clearly go fact check yourself. The owl situation is so ironic that those people were like disputing over the owls and like saving the owls' lives, and then the owls got burnt, I'm sure, or maybe hopefully they fled. And it was crazy. And the thing about the fish, and because of that fish, we're pouring like millions of gallons of water away. Like that also is crazy to me. But they only make sense to me when I think about follow the money. Like, do I really think that these politicians are doing this because of a fish or some other animals? No, I don't think so. I believe in human greed. It's sad, but it's there. And I feel like when things that are very obvious, like protecting humans, making sure that those forests are cleaned up from the deadwood and blah, 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 and it's not being done, it's only because somebody is getting paid and they're choosing to do something to not help human beings because they're getting paid, which is disgusting. But I honestly believe that. And Jim Roar, hi there. If you lost your C-face forever and your personal information like passport, you are screwed too. But I'm saying like my idea for the government would be you have your seed phrase, right? In your head. But then it doesn't just it's not like okay, somebody can take my seed phrase when I punch into the government site and the QR code pops up. They can just take my passport and go and fly around like to Europe. No. I think like they should have a system where you have your phrase so you could come up with the passport, which would just be similar to like carrying around a paper passport, which we do now. And then when you're actually at the airport, They should have a system where either your thumbprint or your eyeball print or your face then matches, and then you're allowed to go through as you. Otherwise, you're not allowed to go through if it's some person that is not me. Actually, they should probably do thumbprint because I feel like, or eyeball print, because if you do just like the way somebody looks, honestly, like makeup is just getting better every minute. And I feel like it's too easy for somebody to be like looking like your favorite celebrity these days. I mean, it gets really scary. Like, you know, that girl that there's impersonators for everything, for Taylor Swift, for everybody, but Ariana Grande has like the greatest impersonator, and I'm not giving her clout as in like she's an amazing person. I think it's kind of crazy. Someone can look so much like Ariana Grande, but you can look it up. It's like, I think her name's Paige or whatever, but she looks almost, I would say, exactly like Ariana Grande. Like if I were to see her from like a mile away, I would be like, that's Ariana Grande, because that's how similar this person has made herself look to Ariana Grande. And I feel bad for Ariana Grande because I feel like, I think little girls all want to look like her. She's a celebrity and blah, blah, blah. But for someone to just go that ham and literally copy everything about you, like the way you talk, your mannerisms, and the way you look, the way you do your makeup to a T, like it's a little much. I think it's flattering. But at the same time, it's like, if you have a twin and you love it, great. But if you didn't want a twin and now you have a twin, I don't think that's something that most people would want. Anyways, we're going to open up trading cards, series 3, Cardsmith, but from that pack was just 10 cards. Let's go. I already have this one. This is my Bitcoin card. Southern California is a tropical desert. SoCal is a drought and doesn't get natural water. Fall like Northern California, Sebastian says. Warren Buffett. Ooh. Oh, I was so excited. I'm like, it's shiny. I think I already have this one. It's a Satoshi Nakamoto card. I wonder where Satoshi Nakamoto is. Like, I wonder which state he's from. Like, California, New York. That's a cool card. At least a show. I mean, it's not a cereal card, but like a rainbow hollow foil or something. It's shiny. Nice. I have this one already. Athenian Owl Tetradrachum. I still cannot memorize what these things are. With the first examples having been minted around 512 BCE, the Athenian tetradrachum was a thick silver coin featuring the head of Athena on the obverse and the owl of Athena on the reverse. Originally referred to as the little owl, the Athenian tetradrachum is one of the most recognizable of all ancient coins. Last one. Wow, getting all these Bitcoins. Bitcoin girl. I like this art though. It's really neat. There goes my 5. So I'm pulling from these boxes right now. I'm just pulling one pack. Each of these boxes have 2 packs in it. One pack, 5 cards. So 10 cards each of these boxes. So I have about 4 more here. Just opening one. Dropping things everywhere. Hold on. Let me fix up this area. So messy. I've been living a mess. I'm just like living a mess. Like my dishes. I usually do my dishes right away, but I didn't even do my dishes because I'm just like, what is life anymore? You know, what is life? It's like I never really expected to have to live through like a zombie apocalypse. I wouldn't survive. This is like level 1 of like a zombie apocalypse. It's just bad air outside. Like I'm on the news. It looks so unreal because, oh my God. Oh God. Oh my God. It's like disregard last Are they making mistakes? Other than like disregard last evacuation warning. It was for the Kenneth fire only. LA, what are you doing? Oh, that's jokes. No, it's not telling me to run. It's telling me that the previous one was a total mistake. So you guys were scared for no reason. That's why I was like,
I've been keeping a watch, okay? There's the Watch Duty app where you literally see where the fires are, all the different fires and all their names. I love how they're, like, naming things like they're it kinda sounds like cocktails, honestly. Like, the Hollywood fire that broke out, I think they already taken care of that, but the Hollywood fire that broke out, last night, they called it the Sunset Fire. I'm like, "Why aren't you calling it just the Hollywood fire? Because it's not the Hollywood." So I don't know. They're naming all these random things. There's a Creek fire, Palisade fire, Eaton fire. So, yeah. Well, I'm sure that scared people for no reason. But yeah, I'm on Watch Duty app, so I know where the fires are, and I'm like, I'm okay. I'll know if the city next to me right now is not burning. If the city next to me is burning, or I'm just unlucky and all of a sudden like an amber falls into the city, I'm not gonna tell you where I am, but if an amber falls into my city or even the city next to me, I would be even more on alert. But I'm already on alert because I'm already packed and ready to go. So y'all don't have to worry. Mm, I never had an office job, a raw food writer. I don't know who you're confusing me with, but I've been unemployed, my friend. I've been unemployed since a long time. Yeah, since at least 2020. I mean, I had an office job like in 2020, the beginning of it, then I lost it. And ever since then, I've just been doing my own thing. I'm my own boss. But technically, I am a licensed realtor, so I could go to the office, but you don't have to go to the office to like sign deals. And I'm not really active. So I just got my license, and I'm the type of person where like I have to fully like go crazy and invest myself into it. Otherwise, I don't do it. So even though I did get my license, um, at the time when I got my license, I was working another job, the one that I had lost. And so I never put full focus into real estate. And even right now, because I'm doing my own e-commerce business, that's why you see me with like two phones. Um, I feel like I can't because I'm putting full focus and it is doing really well. So my e-commerce stuff is like a job on its own. It's like a full-time job. I actually work more than full-time. I work like 24 hours in a day. Like every hour that I am awake, I feel like I'm working. And even when I watch Netflix, I'm watching all these reality TV shows about real estate because I am prepping that lingo in my head because I'm still like that's what I'm still trying to manifest in the future. Like my future 20, 30, 40 years from now, I hope to be an active agent of some sort. At least that's my goals right now. It could change in the future, and that's okay. So I'm like doing my e-commerce stuff, which has nothing to do with real estate stuff. But then I'm like trying to feed my head with like all these real estate lingo. And you know what's crazy? I am learning a lot like about real estate and all these things that I didn't really know about um prior to like well, some of them I was already taught, like because I did go to these classes, but it's a good refresher when I'm watching all this stuff. Like, for example, did you know that some very expensive homes in New York I knew New York is an expensive place because obviously I already know that like that's where most of the billionaires are. Like if you're a girl, you're looking for a billionaire like boyfriend or husband, you should go to New York. Um anyways, most of the billionaires are in New York. It is wealthier as like by population versus California. California is also very wealthy, but not to that extent. But the homes, man. So for example, I learned from Selling Sunset, which is like the OG real estate reality TV show. You can see homes from like Selling Sunset, and that's like very, very expensive homes near like Beverly Hills. You can get like under 10,000 square feet. So let's say like 6,000, 7,000 square feet of a house. It'll be like 10 million or something, right? Or 15 million, depending on how nice it is or if it's furnished and blah, blah, blah. But in New York, people will pay like mind boggling $15 million USD to live in a home that is under 4,000 square feet because it's so small. But the thing is, like, are those apartments so luxurious? And I've never seen that in my life. Like, I've seen very expensive homes like in California, but I have never seen those very, very expensive homes in New York, like in real life. But like through the show, as I'm watching Selling the City now, it's out, it's a new show out about real estate. It's by the same producer, Adam DeVillo, I think I'm saying that right. He's the same producer as the Selling Sunset one. And he, funny enough, also produced The Hills, which, by the way, 2 stars from it. I see them on TikTok. I actually didn't know they were on TikTok until their house burned down.
oh my God, what's her name? Heidi Montag and the husband. I forgot the husband's name. Something Pratt, I think. But they were the stars of The Hills from like many years ago, and their house got burned down. And then they were doing these TikToks. And then it was dark humor. But the husband, he's also a reality star because he was on the show with Heidi, The Hills. And he made a TikTok I saw yesterday, and he was like, "Oh, guys, like, thanks for getting me to like 1 million followers on TikTok." He's like, "I didn't know all I had to do was just like have my house burned down." He's like, "That was like, why didn't I think of that earlier?" But their entire home was like burned down, and I think he shared that through the nanny cam or something. Like, there's some visuals that he showed, like videos of their house being burned down, the celebrity couple. But their house, I think, was like more than $3 million is what it's reported, that I've seen. But yeah, it's really crazy. And people are like, "Oh, it's no big deal. They're celebrities." But it's like, no, it's traumatic. Like, they have kids, and being on the run with your children while your house is burning down is pretty traumatic. Um, but yeah, sorry, what was I? Forgot what I was saying. All right, okay. We're just gonna go and open more cards. Oh yeah. So I like to, anyways, back to that. Oh, right. So the New York homes, this one house, this one condo that I saw that's like unaffordable for me in 10 lifetimes. It's like $15 million or like somewhere more than $10 million in New York. Um, you can go rock climbing. They have rock, like, who are these people? I just didn't know that you can go rock climbing, like in a condo. Like, to me, the nicest condo of a friend that I've ever seen is like they have an arcade room. You know, you can play like a Dave and Buster room type of thing, and very fancy basketball courts and nice pool tables, like very, very fancy, and a huge, beautiful like a ballroom style like party room. But I have never heard of it being even possible that people can have actual rock climbing facilities as their amenity if you live in a certain nice condo. But I guess that's New York for you. Thank you, Jim Roar. My sister got the same disregard message. Crypto Orbit says, yeah, they're funny. They're pulling pranks on us when it's already a traumatic time. Blaise Pascal. Ooh, I already have this guy. Let's re-remind ourselves. I wonder how many times I have to pull this man to remember him, because I don't remember him. No, I don't know. Like, clearly you could tell he's from, like, I don't know, before the 1800s or something. It says Blaise Pascal was a French mathematician, okay, and physicist known for his work on probabilities and fluid dynamics, for which he established Pascal's law principle. Pascal was also a religious philosopher. In his work Pensées, he laid out a case for believing in God that historians later dubbed Pascal's wager. That's interesting, because I feel like some scientists like don't believe in God, but then there are also a lot of scientists out there. I had this chat with this lady whose husband is like a scientist, and she was saying like, well, actually, no, he told me that a lot of his scientist friends, like, there's two parts to it. Some like go into science, only believe in science and not in any divine being or God or whatever. And then later on, they do end up finding God or believing in God. And then there's just a group that will always not believe it because they choose to believe more in science. So I don't know. For me, I believe like there's just a greater being out there. And I am praying to that greater being that these fires in California will soon be contained, because it is just crazy to me that we are running on day 3 now and it's 0% contained, and we keep hearing of new fires breaking out. And knowing that I know people that are evacuated or friends of friends burned down homes is just insane to me. Yeah, anyways, Satoshi Nakamoto, I already have this card as well. This is not a shiny card, so it's okay. I hope this pack is better, because the smaller packs have been not doing much for me. I had to pull a lot before I finally pulled a redemption card. And then the big pack, I pulled the redemption card right away. Ooh, Blackberry. I already have the Blackberry card too, but this is a very shiny version of the Blackberry card. 188 billionaires in California, more than New York. Really? Okay, I'm gonna Google that like literally now, because even in the New York, the Selling the City show that I just watched on Netflix, they're also saying that there's the most billionaires in New York. Like, if we're talking square footage of a place and numbers of billionaires, I think that's the thing. That's the thing. You have to search the amount of people within a place and the ratio of how many wealthy people. And obviously New York is much smaller because I already saw a post, like Manhattan is like 14,000 acres or whatever, and they're saying that way more than 14,000 acres was already burned through this burning of California right now. So yeah, in terms of square footage and basically like how likely you are to bump into a billionaire. You're more likely to bump into a billionaire clearly in New York than you would in California because it's most of us poor people here. Ooh, Tron, released in 2018. Yeah, Justin Sun, blah blah blah. I don't have Tron, so I don't really care. Oh, Winklevie. I already have this card. I mean, this is not the shiny card. I have the serial number one at the back, so happy about that one. I'll show you guys my collection, which I may or may not sell. This is a serial number one, so it's very nice. Got my Nefertiti at the back. Okay, so that was the poll. Little disappointed, but it's okay. I don't really expect to pull another redemption from the smaller packs because the smaller packs, I personally feel like the smaller pack pulls are not as good as the big pack pulls, but I only did one big pack pull, so who knows? Oh, hi there, DJ Larbug. Listen, I'm glad you didn't have to evacuate. Yeah, we had a scare like literally a second ago. I was doing the live stream and it said like it was warning me to it was warning me to evacuate, to prepare to evacuate, like possible, not saying you have to evacuate right now. And then I get this alert saying disregard. That was actually meant for like another place. So we're good. We're good. But I'm like, you know, the fire can only move so fast. We're not like the Santa Ana winds are not as strong or happening right now in the same way that it was happening on January 7th, where I could literally see like trees just like moving, you know. So we're not at that point in time, and therefore you can calculate like the speed. And I'm looking at, I'm not tell you where I am on the map, but I can see where I am on the map, and it would take a lot. It would be pretty random if even the city next to me were to like all of a sudden be on fire. But I am in a close enough distance where I could see the fires, but just it's not in like a dangerous I'm not in that zone where I have to literally get on the go. Oh, but it's funny. I'm like thinking, when are we gonna run out? Like like luckily I have friends. They're so kind to have offered their place in safe areas. But I'm thinking like, how are the hotel prices? Like, I can't imagine right now. Like, do you think like, I didn't look it up, but are the Airbnb and hotel prices like crazy right now? Because I'd imagine that like people would obviously go to other people's homes if they can, right? But let's say you're like from the Pacific Palisades and you're like all your friends and their homes are burnt down. Where would you go? Are they staying at really fancy hotels and just fighting each other for the nicest hotel rooms? Or are they getting like an Airbnb and like, I don't know, the OC or went to Vegas or something? I feel like if I was really balling, like I'm like Kim Kardashian or something, I would probably just like get a place in Vegas and just take my private jet and go to Vegas. Of course, they would get a lot of backlash for that. But honestly, I think people like hate on rich people way too much. It's like, dude, if you like, there's just a lot of jealousy behind that because I feel like when people are like, oh my God, these celebrities with their like private firefighters and their jets and flying away when everyone else is burning, it's like you would do the same. Like, I would not believe that a regular person who came from nothing, if all of a sudden you gave them a bunch of money and then their house is burning down and they're not going to do everything they can with money to save themselves or just live well. DJ Larbug, I'm snowed in during a blizzard. I wish there was snow outside right now. Like I'm praying for rain to happen right now and it's not happening. I snowed in during a blizzard here in Colorado Springs. Today is day 3. Hopefully it will be over tomorrow. That's what I'm praying every day, dude. Like that is going to be over tomorrow. Yeah, day 3, man. Day 3. It's, oh, I forget that there's nothing here. I'm like trying to grab for something. I forget that these, so this is a series 3 sold out box, Cardsmith currency trading cards, but you can get series 4 if you're interested from GameStop or just from Cardsmith. I don't think it's sold out yet, but maybe it might be because these sell out like really hot, like really quick. Jim Roar says, as long as you're prepared, like have extra supplies and battery source. Man. Yeah, I did see that on TikTok though. Like blizzards happening in other areas, fire happening. Like, what is happening in the world? This has only been like, it's only been a week, guys. Why does everything suck so much? I don't know. Maybe it's just the curse of January. I didn't have the greatest January last year either. But then last year was really great for me. So maybe it's just like we got to get the bad stuff out of the way and try to be positive, and then, maybe it's going to be better. I'm just going to be really delulu now and tell myself that things are bad now because it's going to get better. I've literally because I haven't slept well and it is very dry, as you can hear, like with the Santa Ana winds, it's like dry, cold winds. The air is not only bad in California, but it's also really, really dry and it's cold. And I can literally like see it. I'm not gonna show you up close, but my hands are like, it's like it's bled, and I put antibiotics on it, so it's better. But my skin is naturally dry, so when in the wintertime it gets cracked, like my skin gets really cracked. So my nail areas, like the parts where it really hurts, like literally everything I touch when I wash my hands or even when I do dishes, like everything hurts on my fingers because it's so dry. So yeah, it's a terrible month for me. It's okay. I believe it could get better because again, last year was overall still really good for me. But the beginning of the year last year, it was pretty traumatic too. Just rough times sometimes, and then you got to deal with it, and maybe it'll get better. I don't know. I'm just gonna like still try to live my life, do my little bathroom dances, and listen to music, watch my Netflix, talk to you guys, and just what else are you gonna freaking do? Like, yeah, life sucks right now being in California, but like, what else am I supposed to freaking do? I'm already thinking way too much at nighttime. Like, I could barely fall asleep. I'm like thinking about, like, I have plans for this year and next year, like big life ideas. And sometimes I think about, like, oh my God, all of that is going to be stripped away if the house burns down or I burn or like something happens. It's crazy to think that, yeah, life is just so vulnerable. But I do believe that that's why, like, I've always had this mentality of anything could end at any given moment. Anybody you love, anything could happen to at any given time. That's why I do try to say I love you to the people that I love as often as I can and check in on them, family members, because you just never know what somebody's last day is, how it's going to look like, how any of our last days are. And this is just like it's a terrible reminder, but yeah, like remember how COVID was in 2020? I feel like I'm more scared now for California and just like everyone close to me. Not so much the people that are like out of state, but like um I'm like more scared now for me and my life and nearby friends and family than I ever was for COVID. Because COVID is more of like okay, if I just stay in, I'm kind of safe, right? Like if you just stay in, and even when I caught it, I already knew people who caught it. So I was like, oh, okay, they survived. Like I'll most likely be okay. Like, and I felt it. And I lost my taste buds. I don't know if I told you guys, I lost my taste buds for like a month plus. Then it came back to me, and that was scary too, but I would take that over this right now, where I'm like, I can't go outside, and you're not gonna be able to like see your friends anytime soon. People are like moved away to like other places, and I don't even feel comfortable going to the grocery store unless I absolutely have to. But it's kind of good because I'm on a diet anyway, so I'm not like in desperate need of like I need to have a steak right now. Like, you know, I'm trying to eat less anyways. So it's kind of working hand in hand with the fact that I basically have to hermit right now and stay in. I was gonna hermit anyways and just focus on work and work out at home and diet. So that's kind of working, I guess, to my diet since I don't have to run to the grocery store every 2 seconds. But I do think if you are, even if you're not in like an immediate evacuation zone, it is smart to load up on water. Because I heard that like people in Pasadena, like not all of Pasadena had to evacuate, but the Pasadena waters, I think this was a notice from yesterday. You could search it up, but in Pasadena, the waters are not safe to drink anymore because I think they were saying that a lot of the pipes, there's like plastic in there, and then when it's burnt down, it's not good for the water. There's like chemicals in the water, so they're saying it's not safe to drink right now. I would get water no matter where you are, right? Because if you're all of a sudden on the run because an amber fell into your city or whatever, or a house nearby, then you have to run. And if you're running and you're driving your car, hopefully not electric, because I don't know if it's such a mess you can't find like chargers. But yeah, if you make sure your gas tank is full. I think that's one. Be on alert, and I would just make sure there's lots of water and some type of canned foods at home, because you'd never know. All right, let's get started. Oh, I think I'm holding it wrong. I'm holding it like this. Hawala. I already have this one. I'll just read back to it. Dating back as far as the 8th century AD, Hawala is an informal system for transferring money through a system of debits and credits, kept on ledgers by dealers with various Hawala networks. A person in one region of a country can send money to someone in another area by providing a local Hawala with funds. The money is distributed to the designated person by their local dealer, and their transaction is recorded on both sides, without money ever moving through the network. I feel like this is like the original, like, it sounds like the original cryptocurrency without being crypto. Sounds funny. All right. Oops. Next. Ooh. Satoshi Nakamoto. I don't think he looks like that, but that's Satoshi Nakamoto. Next card. I think I have, how many cards do I have in here? It's a 40 card pack. 40 cards. Man, I got really lucky last time then. Because out of 40 cards, I don't think it's that high of chance that you're supposed to pull like a redemption card. What, I got cereal and redemption card last time I pulled. Yeah, so out of these 40 pack cards, what I'm holding now, this box, even though it's just this little, it says cryptocurrency redemption is 1 in 24. What was that? Well, 1 in 24 of these. So that's low chance, man. That would be crazy if I get. Hi there, cool dude. Roxy, welcome. Sorry if I miss anybody. I was like just yapping. Daniel Lopez. Nicole 3000. Una. Annalicia. The screw up grew up. Hello. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna finish up this so then I can go back to watching my Netflix full of real estate stuff and do more work, because what is life? I'm still like, yeah, anyway, so I have all these hopes and dreams for this year and next year. A lot of things that I want to do and changes. Not New Year's resolution, just goals. And I'm still gonna hope that all of them happens. I just hope, like, my stuff doesn't get burned down, and while I'm hoping for that. But life still goes on regardless. And it is the thing that I've been thinking about the most through all of this is I'm like, man, I do want children in the future, and I can't imagine like dealing with this stress right now and then having kids. So, man, my kids in the future better appreciate me having them, because it is stressful times, even just from 2020 to 2025, the beginning of 2025 right now. It's only been like 5 years, and it's so stressful. Like, life is stressful. So as much as I want a kid, it's like, man, I'm going to be I'm going to be worried about their feelings and what they're going through at the same time of me going through stress. So that stressed me out just thinking about it. But I'm like, no, I still want one. Stablecoin. Okay, I have this card too. This is like the Pokemon looking card. But why is it called stablecoin? Huh. It's just Japanese promo illustration. Hollow. I think I have the hollow card of this too. Stablecoin. That was stablecoin card. DJ Lordbuck says, I'm about 14 miles from the base of Pikes Peak Mountain, and I am prepared. In Colorado Springs area, from January to March can have a blizzard or winter squall. Ooh. That sounds pretty wild. I was watching that, like, technically right now, which is weird because we're like, this is winter. So I was watching like this person saying how it's weird that we're getting these crazy fires right now because technically it is winter. But at the same time, I guess just the dryness of it and the cold winds is making everything worse. Just a very unfortunate event, I guess, unless it's an arsonist. Then to hell with that person. Tesla coil. Okay, I have this card too. I don't think I'm going to see any new cards that I haven't seen, honestly, unless it's a redemption card, because I've pulled so many of these Series 3. I think I've opened up the most Series 3, a few Series 2, and I still have some Series 2 boxes. And like the holiday set that you see back here, I have one more left because I opened up 4, but no redemption from those. Chinese cash coin. That's literally just a Chinese, like, old school coin, but we have this card too. Chinese cash coin. Did you know that they do celebrate it? If you go to China, there's a lot of girls that they'll buy 24 karat gold, like of those Chinese. They're designed like the Chinese cash coin. Of course, in China, you can't use the Chinese cash coins anymore, right? Like that's using something ancient from like hundreds of years ago or whatever. But they make it into jewelry, and then people wear it on their necks and as little cute bracelets. I kind of want one. My sister was looking at one in Shanghai, and she was almost gonna buy it, but it was really, really expensive. And I'm like, I want one too, but I kind of blew too much money already. Tron. Okay, that one is not hollow. Hi there, chaotic. How are you? Hope your day has been good. Well, it's been a roller coaster, but I'm trying to be positive about it. So yeah, I'm just trying to go about my life like a regular day, even though it's not a regular day. It's a scary time. This is like the worst year of like one. Yeah, I'm not gonna say this is the worst year of my life because it's only been 3 days. But this is like the most random, unexpected, insane, like crisis situation I've ever had to experience. Well, I've turned my Dyson back on. I don't think the air quality is worse necessarily here all of a sudden, but I'm just like coughing. But it might be because I had this weird little cough for I think more than like a month. I started off being maybe like I was sick because I coughed and like my face would get very heated, but then now my face isn't heated when I cough anymore. But sometimes I'll have like a light cough, or I don't know, maybe it's all the stress, but my Dyson's still showing that it's fine. So the air quality is supposedly fine in here. Ooh, Benjamin Franklin. Okay, we have him as well. Mr. Benjamin Franklin was an American diplomat, writer, publisher, inventor. I feel like when you're one thing, you're just all these things, right? Like most of these people that are featured on here, I do believe in multi-talented people. Like I feel like most people that I know who are very intelligent and good at one thing, they're like generally like also very good at a lot of other things. Like I have this one friend, like I think she's really smart and just like really good on like really, if you give her a book she can study it, and she's also good at like cooking because I think she's good at just like figuring out instructions and blah blah blah. Okay, let me change my light. Change my light because I've been talking to you guys for so long. My light is out, but that's why you need two. These are actually really good for state of emergencies because they're so bright, right? Like I got this on TikTok, I think for like $6 or whatever. But they're so bright and they do last a while, and it is great for like my social media content. Bam. Okay. And we're back. Benjamin Franklin. Yeah. Sorry. As a publisher, Benjamin oversaw the printing of paper money for several American colonies and is credited with having anonymously written the pamphlet, A Modest Inquiry into the Nature and Necessity of a Paper Currency. So I guess maybe that's why he's on our money. He's on the Hundi. Yeah. Because he oversaw the printing of paper money. I didn't know that. Okay. So he oversaw the printing. That's wild. And then he oversaw the printing of the paper. I don't know if did he ask or people just like wanted him to be on the $100 bill? Don't know much about it. Mary Polly Marshall. Also forgot who she was. Pulled her a bunch of times. Born in 1850, Mary Polly Marshall was a British economist and author. See, this is how you know I was not good in school because like I pull these cards so many times, I read them and I like totally forget who these people are. Born in the 1850s, Mary Polly Marshall was a British economist and author. As one of the very first females permitted to study at the prestigious Cambridge University, Marshall was later invited back to Cambridge to lecture decades before women were allowed to vote in the UK. Together, she and her husband, Alfred Marshall, are considered some of the most influential economists of all time. I don't know, she's giving me Kathy Wood vibes. Kathy Wood of the 1850s. Nefertiti, yeah, but I already have the nice card behind there. So that's our like, okay, I kind of memorized her now. I think she was like Egyptian queen something. And I think people said that she might have been like ruling, even though her husband was really powerful. I think people are saying that she maybe called the shots in a sense. Nefertiti, this is my serial card. So happy about that one. Let me see if my memory was correct. Nefertiti, meaning the beautiful one has come, was the wife of Egyptian king Akhenaten, who ruled during the middle part of the 14th century BCE, thought to possibly have been co-ruler with her husband. Yeah, cryptocurrency. That's all I remembered. She helped to usher in a period of monotheism and implement various economic reforms during the reign. I really need to get better with my history. I just probably need to read more history books or watch more. Oh, nope, that doesn't belong there. All my like nicer cards I would put over there. Yesterday, eBay topped the stock market due to the merger with Meta Facebook. Look for eBay stock to continue to rise tomorrow. That's good luck for us eBay store owners. Yes. So no, I do feel like eBay is gonna stick around a long time just because I also feel like more and more people are sick and tired of the 9 to 5. I do think 9 to 5 is not gonna go anywhere anytime soon either, but a lot of people through the pandemic, it's just like kind of like a snowball effect where people are seeing other people like making money at home and selling things online and whatnot. And then more people are like, oh, I have a full-time job, but let me try this. And I do think it's a good idea. Like, I think if you have a full-time job, unless you absolutely love it and there's nothing else you want to do in the world except for that, I do recommend others to like go out there, try different things. You know, you never know what you're going to find. You don't necessarily have to be an eBay owner. You could sell other things. You could open up your own coffee shop. I just like this random TikTok. Also, I was scrolling like last night and it would be like fire this, fire that, and then like some random things. But I think I scrolled through a TikTok where this guy was saying how he and his like really good friend created a coffee shop, and their first month they brought in like $21,000, and I was like, that's amazing. I love it when people share that. I actually have a friend that wants to like start a coffee shop as well. So I hope everybody succeeds, but you got to try it to know. Stable coin. I think coffee shops would be so much fun to open. Like, I would love to do one if I could fit one more thing in and have extra cash to do that type of investment, because I love making drinks. Like, I make different drinks all the time. Stablecoin is a blockchain-based token that is generally understood to be pegged to the value of another asset or currency. The most popular stablecoin traded based on a 1-to-1 ratio to the US dollar on a per unit basis. I think they said that there's a stablecoin for Ripple company XRP is going to have some type of stablecoin, I think, but I haven't actually seen it on CoinMarketCap, so I don't know if they've actually released that. Ooh. Athenian Owl Tetradrachum. Okay, we already got that one. And thank you guys for those of you guys that are in here. Once I'm done pulling these cards, then I'm gonna bounce. But thank you for those of you guys that did come in here to spend time, you know, and smash the like button. I appreciate it. I'm glad that I am getting more subscribers. It's been a long year of, you know, like growing this channel. I think last year I saw this post that I posted like on my own personal social media. And that time I was asking like people to like follow me. But of course, people who know me, I'm like, don't comment. I'm like, in case people are like, those scammers will go after you or whatever. But I remember seeing that post of mine, and I had like 5,000 followers last year. So now I have like 15,000. So I grew 10,000 in this 1 year, and I'm really, really grateful. So it's thanks to you guys that are supporting my videos, no matter how random they are. Because I know if I have like 100 videos and they're all over the place, whether it's just random stuff I'm interested in, travel vlogs, like talking about crypto. Most of my live streams are all about crypto stocks or pulling cards now, apparently. But some of them are just random vlogs. We're talking about TV shows I like to watch and playing games. And it really warms my heart that you guys support it. And even if you don't watch it, just like it and then just scroll away. So I appreciate that. Hi there, Secret Twin. Tesla coil. Okay, I have this card too. Let's just read it. Named for its famed inventor, Nikola Tesla. The Tesla coil is a high-frequency electrical transformer that can generate strong electrical fields, able to wirelessly power lights and other small devices from several feet away. Next. Chinese cash coin. Okay, I already got one of these. Again, I would be surprised if I got one that I don't already have. I think I have like every single card on the Cardsmith Series 3 box. Tron. Okay, got another one. Come on, give me some I'll be really pissed if this entire 40 box doesn't give me any like cereal ones or a rare gemstone. Yeah. I want something nice. I want a meta rare refractor. I think that might have a serial. I still don't really fully understand it. So there's approximate odds of finding per pack. Collect your parallel rainbow hollow foil, which is just that rainbow random one. That's 3 to 1. Collection parallel matrix hollow foil, one, but I forget what that one looks like. Collector parallel ice foil, 3 to 1. Serial numbered gemstone refractor, 1 to 1. Meta rare refractor, 1 to 24, and then crypto redemption, 1 to 24. So we want a meta rare. We want the 1 to 24s. You want the rare ones, not Benjamin Franklin again, dude. Sorry, Benji. I like my Benjamin Franklin, so I'm staring at it right now. And you guys want to see my tree? This is my second money tree because the first one, when I went on vacation for 3 months to China, I asked my SO to take care of my previous money tree, my first ever money tree, and he completely unalived my plant. So I think he overwatered it, and then it's no longer here. So I bought another one, and this one, it's the same thing as I do with all my other money trees. I put a $100 bill. I just tape it at the back, and it makes me happy. I'm trying to manifest that my money tree grows money. But I think I also, maybe it's too cold lately and it just didn't need to be watered that much. For you plant people, let me know why this is browning at the bottom, but I feel like I put too much water on it. So now I'm trying to like make sure it lives again. So I haven't been watering it because I wanted the soil to be more dry. See, it looks fine right now, and I put some coffee beans in it. I put some old coffee beans just to make it more dry. So yeah. Hopefully it doesn't my plant doesn't die. 50 British pound sterling note. I also have this card. It's nice. Yeah, Jimmy Carter. May he rest in peace. Trump and Obama sat next to each other. Oh, did not know that. Got along like adults and sang church songs. Oh, see, I didn't know what happens at those funeral services. Like, I didn't know. Are they like mandatory? Do you think like previous presidents have to go there or they don't have to? I don't know. I mean, it makes sense they would be there. I thought the funeral would be more like the family would just be there, but hey, never watched one, so Nefertiti again. Oh, so it's probably like a service that's more like, I would say, formal business type of thing, if the other presidents have to be there and maybe any congressmen that were related. Ooh. Gutenberg printing press. Also have this card. Kind of memorized it, not really. Invented by Johannes Gutenberg around the mid 1400s. The movable type printing press allowed for the mass production and distribution of written literature through the use of prefabricated letters and punctuation symbols that could be quickly assembled, inked, and pressed onto paper. So this is 1400s. So I wonder the typewriter, like the old keys where you type each word into it, letter into it. That's probably even before 1400s then, I would assume, because if this is from 1400s, I would assume they made that little like typewriter even beforehand. Bitcoin. Ooh, actually, maybe I don't have this card. I have a lot of Bitcoin cards. I don't think I actually have this one. Or I've just opened up so many I forgot. Come on, I really want a serial card. Ponzi scheme. Woo. Oh, that's neat. I already have I think I already have this one, but not in the exact same shininess. So this Ponzi scheme is really shiny. Nick Hell 3000, you and me, us both, along with everybody in this chat. I think we all would have done better if we had like, I had a business teacher at that time, and like, yeah, I wish my business teacher were teaching more about like taxes and finance and investing into crypto at the time. But you know, here we are. Ooh, definitely don't have this one. That's really nice. That's a Bitcoin card. Wow, 2 in a row. Not bad, not bad. All right. Bam. Dogecoin! Woo! Oh my god, I got 3 of these shiny things in a row. That's awesome. Look at that. But no, they're not serial numbered, so I don't know. But this is the first Dogecoin I've ever pulled. That's actually pretty exciting. I don't have a shiny Dogecoin. I had that dog one that I pulled last time,
I forget from which series, but no Dogecoin. Hard fork. Ooh, I do not have a hard fork card, so this is cool. A hard fork of a blockchain occurs when a developer on a network initiates such significant change in the programming that it essentially splits the blockchain into two completely different networks, which I do know that it happened with Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. I think this was 2017. But I didn't buy Bitcoin Cash at the time, nor did I buy Bitcoin, which really sucks. I feel like if you bought Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash back in 2017, you'd probably be, I don't know, up a lot of money into two completely different networks. After such a radical change, operators of each node need to determine which chain to follow by continuing with the original program or converting to the new version on the new chain. So that is a hard fork, folks, which if you need to look it up, the most you'll learn from it is when Bitcoin, the Bitcoin that we know today, I guess, did a hard fork, and some people agreed on Bitcoin that we know today versus the Bitcoin Cash, which, you know, is not doing as well as Bitcoin. PayPay coin, not shiny, but we like the PayPay. Actually, everything sucks right now. Let's just look back at the coin market cap. Oh, it's red. So it was at 3.5 plus trillion last I looked, when things were doing really well and Bitcoin was climbing over 100,000. Now Bitcoin's at 92,700, which kind of sucks, and Ethereum's at 3,200. XRP's at $2.27. Everything just kind of dropped like 4 or 6% in the last like 7 days. Dogecoin's back down to number 7. Solana took the spot of number 6. Solana's at 186. Dogecoin's at 32 cents. We got Cardano at 91 cents. Sui at $4.77. Shiba Inu, number 15. Stellar Lumens at number 16. Bitcoin Cash, which we just talked about, at 421, which, to be honest, we bought in 2017. You'd be pretty happy right now. PayPay is down 15% in the last 7 days, down to 17. Just recently, last time I looked, I swear it was like at like 20 or something. So, you know, these things move real fast. So you never know. Wait, where are you guys? Wait, I can't find you anymore. Oh, hold on. Okay, there's my chat. I was like covering up the tab with my light. I couldn't find you guys. Gutenberg Printing Press. Ooh, like a dark, shiny-ish one. I like it. Yes, I think anything with like Facebook merger is pretty positive, because you know they have some good data there, and whatever it is they're doing, because those Instagram ads, they do, like all the ads, I would say TikTok ads, Instagram ads, they know what they're doing. I would say X is probably the only one where I'm not like, oh my god, I need to buy this, right? Like, it's not as crazy on the ads. Pascal's calculator, and that's good, because I don't want to be seeing ads all over X. Like, X is where I go to, like, I like to see like threads and see what people that I'm interested in finance are talking about. Pascal's calculator. This is the first shiny version I have, but I do think I have a Pascal's calculator. Pascal, I would assume it's a Blaise Pascal. It's that dude that, you know, from whatever, is it 1400s or 1500s? I forget. Created by French mathematician Blaise Pascal around, damn it, I was wrong, 1642. Pascal's calculator was the first commercially available counting machine. The calculator could add and subtract numbers up to 5 digits on the first models, and eventually up to 8 digits on later models. It was even possible to do multiplication and division on the calculator through repeated addition and subtraction, which is kind of crazy to me, because that looks so different from like our calculators of today. But this is probably the first step, because you wouldn't be able to have calculators of today without this. And you know what's crazy? I don't know how I don't know how my, like, you know, those like calculators, those old school calculators, I don't know how those actually work. I would love to, maybe one day I should look up how that works, because I don't, yeah, just imagine, how do they always get the right answers every single time? I don't know. Is there like some mechanism they put in there that when you type this answer comes out? Man, that dude is really smart from the 1600s, if they can come up with this. Ripple, first shiny Ripple card. I think this is what they call like a rainbow one or something. It looks pretty rainbowish to me. George Washington Carver. Born in 1860s, George Washington Carver was an American agricultural chemist who famously developed over 300 products derived from peanuts. Wow. Why peanuts? including various dyes, flowers, medicinal oils, and cosmetics, as well as over 100 products based on the sweet potato. Wait, what? Carver's work helped to revitalize the agricultural economy of the southern United States after the Civil War. What a genius, man. This guy's a genius. I feel like he deserves more like recognition. That's wild. Deriving things out of peanuts and sweet potato. And I'm hungry. I want to eat a sweet potato right now. I'm watching too many videos of like food. So like to take my mind off of the blazing fires out there, I would like go in because the algorithm just it knows that I'm in California, so it just keeps showing me all these fires and what people are saying, and then it would show me like all these meals, like either people going out for takeout and then eating them like a mukbang, or when people make really delicious food and I'm still trying to make like as elegant of a video one day that other people make, but I love watching food videos of people just like making these delicious meals at home. I think yesterday I watched one where somebody just baked like a purple sweet potato and she sliced it in half. Then she had this like miso grilled like salmon next to it and some like veggies. Oh God, it looks so delicious. Anyways, Ethereum! Oh my God, yay! This is my first serial number, ETH. I'm not going to show you the serial number. Ethereum is an open source peer-to-peer blockchain of recorded smart contracts. Smart contracts allow prearranged agreements between parties to automatically execute without the need for any other intermediaries or actions. These contracts are recorded on the Ethereum blockchain and verified by the broader network. I'm happy. I don't know what this is called. It might be let's see here. I think this is a meta rare refractor. Or no. Maybe this is a serial number gemstone refractor. Yes. Because it looks like a gemstone thingy, like the little design. And it's refractor, I guess. It's shiny. And it's serial numbered. So, okay, I'm happy with that. It's cool. It's out of 99. There's 99 of them. So I have one of these. It's crazy because like I'll like see on Reddit, some people buy like a room full of these boxes. I'm like, where do these people get the money? It's probably like crypto bros, really wealthy folks. Satoshi Nakamoto. Emerald Gemstone Refractor. Thank you, Curtis. I'm happy. Well, I like Ethereum. So the Ethereum and XRP, I forget which one I did first, but XRP and Ethereum I bought them together in 2019. Those are my first cryptocurrencies I've ever owned. So hold it near and dear to my heart. Frederick Hayek. Okay, again, forgot this dude, but man, let me just try to think. He's got to be some type of mathematician. He's got to be like from Austria or something. I'm just going to read it. Frederick was an Austrian-born Nobel Prize-winning economist, there we go, who believed in free market capitalism. As a protege of Ludwig von Mises, which is also a card, Hayek was a strong proponent of the Austrian schools of economics. In 1927, he went on to form the Austrian Institute for Business Cycle Research, where he served as director until 1931. You know what like crosses my mind sometimes? I'm like, what if humans were actually like, because right now we can live like about 100 years. Like most of us don't actually live over 100 years, but whatever. Some people can live to like 120 apparently these days. But imagine if you could actually like the average number of years to live was like 500 years. Then would you actually be able to remember things better? Because I'm like, if I actually lived through the 1900s or the 1800s, right? Like if I could live through all of those years, maybe I would have a better memory of the 1500s or the 1600s. If I like knew people from the 1600s, I'm like, oh, it's Frederick Hayek, like, or the Gutenberg printing press. I saw it when it was being built. Like, maybe I would just have a better memory. I don't know. Random thoughts that cross my mind. Sometimes I think maybe I would be better at memorizing history if I was like a part of history, you know, because I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember 2020 and 2025. 2025 being the worst fire ever in California. Copper. I don't think I think I have copper. Copper is a brown-orange color metal that has been used by humans for over, I love it, that's how it's just like described. It's the brown-orange color metal that has been used by humans for over 10,000 years. It is highly malleable and a great conductor of both heat and electricity. Early uses of copper included things like jewelry, cookware, and tools. Today, copper is widely used in construction, plumbing, and electrical wiring. I don't know, I just know pennies were made of copper at one point, but then it got like too expensive. So then they stopped using copper, is what I heard. But maybe the old ones, if you collected, is still copper. Pascal's calculator, once again, but we got the shiny one. So we don't care about the non-shiny one. Sorry. I'm almost done. I'm sad because I don't think there's a redemption card. Ponzi scheme, we got the shiny one. So it's all good. And I hope you guys don't fall for Ponzi schemes. Don't do it. Don't fall for any rug pulls or Ponzi schemes. It's a tough world out there as it is. Genghis Khan. Yes. If you don't know who he is, I don't really think I know that well, but I know he was this man who had a lot of babies. That's all I know. I know he made a lot of babies and he was like good at war and blah, blah, blah. But most of all, I know him for having had probably more babies than anybody else. More than Elon Musk, surprisingly, and Nick Cannon. Genghis Khan was the first ruler of Mongol Empire. During his reign from 1206 to 1227, Khan conquered most of what is modern-day China, Korea, Southeast Asia, and Russia, making him the owner of more real estate than anyone else in history. After his death, Genghis Khan's descendants even expanded the empire into Persia and the Middle East, as well as parts of Eastern Europe. Imagine being like, you're a descendant of this man. What do? Do you carry on his goals? Just make him more babies? I don't know. Maybe it's in the DNA. Hard fork. Once again, can we have another hard fork earlier? So, this is the last one. Crackberry. I already have a Crackberry card. Oh, wait, what? Is this a misprint? I think this has to, wait. Yeah, I think this is like a misprint. It's not a Crackberry. Oh, wait. Oh. It's so dumb. It's not a misprint. I was like, they're just stuck together. I'm like, it's not a Crackberry, but it says that. I was thinking that was going to be worth so much money if it was, because usually misprints and like all different types of cards, it's worth a lot if it's like not showing what it says it's supposed to show. Darn it! So anyways, those are my two last cards. I have the Crackberry, which I already pulled in the past. The BlackBerry earned the nickname Crackberry due to the addictive nature of the phone's features on early users of the product. Bam. And the $100,000 Federal Reserve note. No! Okay, at least I got a serial numbered Ethereum. Okay, can't complain about that. And I got a Doge shiny one and then a Bitcoin shiny card, and so these all came together, right? The Doge, the Bitcoin, and the Ponzi scheme shiny ones, those are pretty sweet. I think those were my best pulls, along with obviously this beauty, right? The Ethereum gem refractor thingy. But yeah, basically, those are it. That's it for me. I think we did pretty good. I said I don't think there would be a redemption card, and there wasn't, but I secretly always have hope that there will be a redemption card. I still have more of these boxes, though, so in the future, I'll pull more, and maybe I'll get another redemption card. I'll always keep pulling, and hopefully I can afford some more Series 4. Actually, I think my man already got some, so I just need to wait for him to give me Series 4 cards for me to open up. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. It's been fun. It's been like 2 hours now. Get out. Smash the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Take care, especially all of you guys that are in California. I hope you're staying safe. And whether you're in an evacuation area or not, be ready. Be on the fly. I am ready. I'm prepared to go at any given time. Luckily, I do not have to right now. And just know that when it comes down to it, nothing is more important than your life, your safety, your health, all this other stuff, all these cards, these materials, money in your stock portfolio, whether it's going up or down, like none of that stuff actually matters as much as just your life and happiness and being with friends and family and your safety and your health. That's the true thing to remember. So take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.